After a 2-week vacation, the Stock Car Racing League Fisher Studios Truck Series is back in action, and it has been 2 weeks' time, but we are back with the second race of the playoffs here in Kansas Speedway. Jordan Parker, only man on the track at the moment, gets on its way for fourth time on the track in the Fisher Studios 134 laps to get this one done in Tornado Alley, and it's going to be a big-time race for the championship battle and all the stories that coincide as the night gets underway. The 65 on the move as we currently have 5 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. Make it 5:10 at the moment. We've got the number 65 on the move, and right now Jordan Parker finds himself third in the standings here in practice. Jordan Parker very confident about tonight's event, looking to get this one in the podium. Could be his all-time best finish in this league. One of your final 16 drivers in contention. The number 65 is, however, we don't have 16 drivers racing. You know, that means we've got championship contenders out of this event. We'll find out whether or not they join in before we get to qualifying. Still a little bit of time before that point. All remains to be seen as the number 65 goes around once again, and he currently finds himself on the track with Max Wiesner. Wiesner, the 51, gets a move back on his machine. And Max Wiesner also going to be sponsored by Fisher Studios tonight. Quite a few drivers are under the Fisher banner here. Are not. Kenny Reel for B3 Designs right there on pit road. Matthew Weeks is as well. Weeks is fourth on the board at the moment as only 2 drivers, make it 3, are on the track. William Schmidt in the 79. He's gotten close to victory lane so far this season. A few races better than others, but tonight could be his breakout run. Small field, big time chances and an occupation in the top spot on the board we have not seen from him all season long. Tonight could be the first win for the 79. Could go his way. That remains to be found later in the going, though, as William Schmidt now going to go up high, and he'll get himself set up for one more run. As a matter of fact, this is the first lap that William Schmidt has put in tonight. Let's see what he's got in terms of pace. Down low, takes it to the apron, go once again. 3 minutes and 34 seconds, and now more drivers roll onto the field, such as Alec Daffin, as Max Wiesner passes him immediately thereafter. Alec Daffin in his final season in the Stock Car Racing League, sponsored by Fisher Studios on the hood tonight, and a special partnership between the two. Fisher Studios 200 and a big-time sponsorship role they play in this league. Now, up-to-date information has been telling us that we, in fact, have a prize for the championship. $150 go to the man who gets it done for the title, and it all comes down to your Final Four event in Homestead, Miami Speedway. That will be in only a few weeks' time. We're coming out of the home stretch here in the season, and the number 48 of Alec Daffin, one of the top competitors. Top seed is Jordan Kuntz by 75 points coming into tonight. Jordan Kuntz, as a matter of fact, finds himself 6th on the board, and the 00 machine right now off the track, only taking 3 practice laps. We've seen guys take upwards of 40 laps so far. Jordan Parker has the all-time highest amount. He has a 43 lap practice session at the moment. He's going to go for lap number 44 as he comes off the exit once again. Jordan Parker in the Fisher Studios machine, your title sponsor for the race and the season, makes its way through again. This could be a promising night, a smaller field, and he's been one of the drivers who have benefited from just that. Was able to crawl his way into the final 16 as a part-time driver to start, and now it's going full-time all the way. The goal for the rest of the season is to finish in the top 10 of the standings. Would be a reality the way this Chevy Silverado has been running. He's going to take it right down, shoots it in, and he'll have himself on pit road to go for another run. William Schmidt going down to the apron, it appears, slowing that machine down, and he'll make his way through without hesitation. William Schmidt backs it down, so does Max Wiesner, but Wiesner now gets back on the track, looking to get some running in with his teammate in that number 65. It looks like Wiesner going to park it, loop it around. Another driver comes out, Alec Daffin, and I think this is something we were told of. The Fisher Studios drivers lining up together to get a team photo. Daffin gets a bit of damage. He will reset, but the 65 is set up for the photo, and now 48 comes into the equation. Alec Daffin back on his way as we ride on board into the situation. Daffin slowly but surely crawls that machine in. He's getting the instructions on where to go. Looks like they might have him in the right spot. He's not on his lonesome. Tilts it just a bit as the 65 looking to get the perfect shot right in front. And one driver goes right through to barrel in for the photo as well. And it looks like that driver was Aaron Brown. Brown gonna pull right into the frame, and he goes right by the middle. He's sponsored by Fisher Studios tonight as well. Multiple teams, multiple drivers, and now the 8's going in reverse here. Not quite sure what's going on, as we've got a driver backwards here in practice, and the only driver running at the moment. He'll make his way right back in and find himself back with the team. Fisher Studios represented well here in Kansas. He'll make his way in. And now it looks like they'll make their way out. Alec Daffin gonna move on with them. Aaron Brown now is in the back. As he despawns, it's the 65 to keep an eye out for it. He'll get another slant going. It looks like practice being used for a photo shoot here, and not the racing. The Fisher Studios crew up in front. Disappears. Alec Daffin remains, and there we have it. Practice is over. Carter Casey is the fastest. He is not on the track at the moment. However, the number 1 machine is your fastest man here in Kansas, as we say hello to qualifying for 5 minutes to find out who will gain that coveted pole position. Above all, let's welcome y'all to the FTN stream here for race number 16. I'm your host, David Croy. It's always great to be back with you. Tonight's going to be a special one indeed. Big time sponsorship participation for this league, and I'm sure it can only get better from here. Great to have Fisher Studios aboard, as right now the 65 is on his way, and we'll say hello to qualifying today with Carter Casey on his way as well. Carter Casey, now I'm going to get a move on. We've not seen all too much racing so far in this session. I'll tell you what, a lot of guys using an extended practice make some adjustments in the car rather than running laps outside on the track. However, Carter Casey looks very fast, and that number 1 machine looking to put on a great show. He's been having a blast. The Talladega winner looking to repeat it and find himself a victor again. This time, though, not at a super speedway. Let's see what he can do this time through. Carter Casey makes it down the stretch. It's the front stretch, and he'll take it green in qualifying. 4 minutes remain for 2 flying laps. Carter Casey takes it right down low. He's got a lot of time. He's actually going to keep it up high here. Looks like he'll back out of going down low to begin it. Got to get one good lap of momentum. That could be the game plan here for these drivers. We've seen it happen before. You really don't want to burn out your stuff on the first lap. You would be able to use the lap to your advantage. Get all the speed and put the power down, and eventually find yourself up front in the qualifying pylon. Multiple drivers have taken laps already. Carter Casey puts himself in with a 31.6. That's going to take him up to second on his first lap. Jordan Cooch right now is the fastest, and the 00 machine's been the best driver all season long, looking to pad in more points. He's been stat padding all season, victory after victory, and the most successful driver in this league this season looks to make it another pole position. Off of corner number 4, he's half a second faster than his last. It's going to be a 31.168 for Jordan Coots, up in front by now 0.3 of a second. Jordan Coots going to be now usurped by Aaron Brown. 31 thousandths gets the number 8 out in front. Big time run, but Carter Casey takes it back again. Carter now on top of the number 1 machine. My oh my, Carter Casey's got a truck that can fly. It's Alec Daffin right now in 6th as he works his way down the back. We've had 9 timed laps. Kenny Real puts himself in 6th, as Jordan Parker, the Fisher Studios teammate of Alec Daffin, now gets on the move. The number 65 going to be the third to last man to get out on the track. Matthew Weeks and William Schmidt have not yet put anything on the pavement. They are waiting until the very end of this show. They'll make their way all the way back down. Running through the backstretch, the 65 is going to go and take it up to the front. Let's ride on board with the Chevy Silverado of Jordan Parker. Down low, Jordan Parker takes it this time by. He's looking for a real good run here. Momentum first lap, power down the next. And as he goes to 3 and 4, very little the same for him so far now. Looks to keep it down low. He's got one more lap to get this one done. Jordan Parker takes it through. He'll take it to 1 lap to go here in qualifying for his case. Matthew Weeks back on the track. Let's see what the Jordan Parker machine can do. That time by scored in 9th. He'll take it out of the apron, and once again, he's still got a little more in the tank. Let's see if it's worth anything. Up high, he's going to be able to make it happen. Gets a little loose that time through. That could be detrimental. However, No budge. Jordan Parker still has the power down, looks to be dead even with his most recent lap, only a quarter of a second off of pole position, and he's got big time momentum out of corner number 4. Jordan Parker quicker this time by. It will be good for position number 9. Even still, Jordan Parker starting in the single digits. It's going to be 9th for him, and it looks like for the Matthew Weeks machine, he'll be the last man to decide who is where in qualifying. Down low, Matthew Weeks is not going to be until the next lap. He's got himself way up high, lining up the sky. He'll take it to 1 lap to go overall. William Schmidt, no signs of qualification. It's going to be all or nothing for the number 11. Let's see what he's got in store this time around. The Toyota Tundra of that number 11 has been carrying the torch for the silver oval all season long. First lap puts him in 10th. However, he's already a quarter of a second faster. He's looking real good to perhaps contend for the pole. Pole position separated now by only 0.03 of a second between Vinny Tigner and Alec Daffin. Now, Matthew Weeks down low. Good enough pace for 4/10 off his most recent lap. And it's going to be good for 5/10. Down to the stretch. The number 11 wants to take pole. Does he make it? Oh, so close. Matthew Weeks only moves up to 8th. Your top 10 is separated by only just under 2/10. Your top 8 separated by 1/10 of a second. Oh, so close as Vinny Tigner finds himself in the pole position. That looked to be the run for the money, but it was not, honey. It looks like the number 99 will find himself on top, and that could have been a great one for the number 11. He had a bit of pace, might have had a shot to make it. Just not there when push came to shove. The 51 now going to be out on the track. That's Max Wiesner. And Wiesner are going to be on the move as we get your starting grid back on your screen. Take us just a moment and we will be right back. And as we get it started, the 51 and Max Wiesner gets this party started in warm-up, working his way down the back. The number 51 goes. Fisher Studios looking real good tonight. And right now, the 51 looking to put up a fight. A part-time driver entered for the first time at Michigan. Did not have the best of results, was not able to match his contemporary and his teammate in the 65. However, tonight could be the night he breaks through. Let's talk about some breakthroughs, the highs and lows in qualifying. It goes to show the title race is far from over. And without further ado, let's get your starting grid up on your screen. This is the Fisher Studios 200, the second race of the playoffs, and overall, the 16th round of the season. Vinny Tigner going to be in first, and Alec Daffin there in second. The 99 Chevy Silverado finds itself on top by 3/1000 of a second over the Fisher Studios Shaw Racing number 48. Carter Casey, your Talladega winner, going to be right there in the third spot. Casey, fastest in practice, the number 1 machine, now fades back 2 spots to stay in the podium. 31.106 for him as Aaron Brown, the Fisher Studios number 8, Alec Daffin's teammate, is right behind him. He'll be starting in 4th, 36 thousandths off the front row, only 30 thousandths off of third. Kyle Jackson looking real good right now. That number 96, 5th spot on the board. It's going to be Jackson there with a 31.156, only 4/1000 of a second ahead of Michael Rosero. Jordan Coops going to be in 7th with a 31.167, and then Matthew Weeks finds himself in 8th to round out row number 4. Matthew Weeks is number 11, only behind by 20,000 of a second on Jordan Coombs. Coombs comes in your top seed in this standing race. 75 points ahead. He is all but locked in no matter what. Alec Daffin, after his most recent race, is now in 2nd in the seeds. Matthew Weeks has a long ways to go to lock his way in. Kenny Reel coming back in the number 23, now teammate with the B3 Designs operation. Looks to be the only one of which here tonight. So Kenny Reel in that number 23 has a 31.223. 9th spot is outside of row number 5. Going to be Kenny Reel in position number 10. No, Jordan Parker gets put 1 down spot, and he will be there in the 10th position. 65 machine with 31.284. Top 10 spread out by just under 2/10 of a second. Only 2 other drivers from that point onward. Max Wiesner, the number 51 machine for Fisher Studios, right behind his teammate in the 65. It's going to be a number 11 starting position for the 51, 32.204 for the man in the 11th position inside row 6, as outside row number 6 going to be the only driver who did not put up any time or any driving in qualifying. In the 12th spot to round out the only dozen we've got, it's William Schmidt in the 79 machine as he looks to take himself to victory lane for the first time this season, and that will be your starting grid for tonight's event, the Fisher Studios 200. Let's get it on our way. Warm-up is here to stay. However, it's only going to last a few minutes longer as now Max Wiesner finds himself alone. No company, no draft. He's been a lone soldier out in front here, just taking his time and trying to find anything to move on his run in qualifying. You seem to have a scuff on the right side there. Rookie stripes, and it looks like it could have been a rookie mistake. Hopefully, he'll pick it up from here on out. He's worked his way up top simply. Nobody else around him. Great to see he's got the opportunity to learn some stuff, but at the same time, very few drivers are looking to get the same expert out of the truck. As we take a look at your standings here in our warm-up session, we've got 54 seconds remaining, and it is Kenny Real, top man on the board. And William Schmidt does have pace. He finds himself in second here in second practice. 79 machine right there in position number 2. Alec Daffin going to be in position number 3, and then Jordan Parker finds himself in 4th. Now going to be Alec Daffin 2 spots ahead of Max Wiesner in 5th. 5 drivers have taken times. That's how it goes so far with 27 seconds remaining. As William Schmidt makes his way down, Kenny Real looking to get his first win as well. He had made a very strong start in this league. His debut was at Talladega, and he made a great first impression, found a team, and is looking to find the dream of victory lane. Right now, he said he's looking strong before we talked just before the race, and it looks like he is setting the pace. Kenny Real, fastest in your warm-up as we say hello to your grid in formation here and now. Kenny Real, fastest in second practice. Now, let's get on to your race, led not by the 23 machine, but led by the number 99 of Vinny Tigner. Great to see the fan support here tonight. Fisher Studios, Max the Cool 456, Nuria Roca. Let's get this one started, and I'm happy to see all y'all in the audience. Now, I heard that Jordan Parker was inviting quite a few to watch aboard. We're only about 30 subscribers away from 1,000 here. If love to join us on the pursuit of 1K, be sure to subscribe tonight. We'd love to have you here on FTN. It means the world to have your support. We could never do without each and every one of you. Vinny Tigner could not be on pole position without everyone else simply being just a bit slower. Might not be thanking them for that though. He had to fight for it. 3/1000ths of a second separate your top 2 drivers. It's right now Tigner up front and Alec Daffin there in second. Carter Case and Aaron Brown occupy the second row. 134 laps to get this one done. That comes out to just about 200 miles here in Tornado Alley. All 12 drivers set to take the start of this event. Alec Daffin, Aaron Brown, the only drivers not yet on the grid. They are due to be there within a minute's time, or we will grab a gear and get things going without them. Go again. Round number 16, second race of the playoffs. The stakes are high, and everything is a bit more intense than it was earlier in the season. Every driver looking at the points battle, and the bubble, it is brewing. As it stands, Eric Heater only 6 points ahead of Matthew Weeks coming into tonight. Now, Eric Heater's not here, so Matthew Weeks could put up a fight and find himself inside the Final Four by the end of the day. That remains to be seen, though, and so many drivers with such similar pace. Very little deficit throughout the entirety of this field. Now, time to see who really is the best of the best. Last week, 2 weeks ago, as a matter of fact, it was a big-time performance from Dylan Basin. Domination, almost led every lap and almost lapped every driver until a late race caution where he was still able to pull out the victory. Tonight could be a bit closer, as only the regulars seem to be here in the field, but Alec Daffin has yet the grid. And when Alec Daffin does, we'll be saying hello to the racing here in Kansas City. We get things going from the mile-and-a-half circuit that is Kansas. They've only been in existence for just under 25 years. First NASCAR Cup Series race was in 2001, and they have gone there every year since. It was a very exciting race they had in 23, but now the virtual trucks get their time to shine. We'll grab a gear here and now. Every driver is on the grid. Now they'll be able to take it out of neutral and get things going for one pace lap before all the race laps come at you live on FTN without interruption. Let's get this thing going. Tigner goes on, and so does the remainder of the pack as we get going from pit road. William Schmidt gonna get a bit of a late start there. He'll nonetheless be on his way. The biggest mover in qualifying, of course, Vinny Tigner. He was able to usurp the favor to get that qualifying spot on the top. Carter Casey, who was fastest in practice. It was all for naught though, but Alec Daffin, your defending second place driver, the winner of those in the playoffs, so to speak, he was able to beat out all his contemporaries there, finds himself occupying the second spot once again. But tonight he's not competing against Dylan Basin, he's competing against his championship rivals. Vinny Tigner is the third seed in this championship equation right now. Carter Casey finds himself way outside in seventh, but it is Jordan Kuntz who's already way up top in first. Many drivers in many different places, and they're all here to face off one more time in the Midwest. Kansas City plays host to the 16th round of the season as the iRacing official pace car says goodbye. We'll say hello to the Fisher Studios 134 lap event. The Fisher Studios 200 gets on its way, led by Vinny Tigner. Let's go racing in Tornado Alley. And just like that, Vinny Tigner finds himself out in front of lap number one. Logan Lax comes in as soon as the race begins. Great to have you here. Lap two has just begun. You have not missed all too much. However, Vinny Tigner does stay out in front with Alec Daffin fading back in the battle for third. Michael Rosero finds himself in fourth, and Rosero will go right down low. 12 drivers, and they all did take the start here, only separated by 2 seconds. Max Wiesner finds himself way back. William Schmidt does as well. And a real battling Jordan Parker as Parker finds himself right down low. The leaders, though, are close once again. It is Vinny Tigner out in front. He's got himself in first. It's Carter Casey in second, and then Mike Rosero in third. Rosero looking to get up to the top spot, though. He's made a great charge already and might be the fastest guy in this equation as soon as we get this one on its way. That might be a bit early to say, though. We'll see whether or not it proves to hold true all night long. All the way it could be for the number 99. Alec Daffin gonna fade back just a bit further. It's Vinny Tigner who barely leads that lap with Carter Casey. Now up high, Michael Rosero finds himself trying for position number 2. Well, they'll stay right now in third. Double file battle right in front. Don't want to waste an inch or an ounce of momentum. It's going to be a big time pull down the back. Carter Casey once again gets that momentum boost, and he will try to lead that lap. Oh, so close. They'll keep it in touch. Vinny Tigner still has himself not going to be major as they come through once again. It looks like Carter Casey does have a bit of an edge, and he will lead that lap for the first time. The 1 leads it. The 99, though, will take him down on the first corner all the same. The ability to lunge from that inside line is crucial to keeping himself out in front, and that's exactly how Vinny Tigner will continue to race. Down low, Tigner keeps it. Carter Casey, though, will battle back to the second half of the track, find himself once again with the leading Max Wiesner disconnecting in and out right now. Bad news for him if it keeps going that way. It's going to be a side-by-side battle all the way. Make it 3 wide. Rosero tries to split it, but Carter Casey does not admit him to go there. And now he does. Michael Rosero takes it 3 once again, and the 41 will not give in. Look at him go. Michael Rosero trying to steal the show, and looks like he will be there for the taking. They're going to be 3 wide down the backstretch all over again. They come through and come out all the same. 3 wide, turns 3 and 4. Rosero, though, is clear, and he'll be able to make it happen. Lap 6 is the number 41s. It's Vinny Tigner in second, and now Carter Casey in third. Kyle Jackson's in fourth. Jordan's going to be in position number 5. Alec Daffin in sixth. As Jordan now tries to get by the number 48. Alec Daffin get past, though. Bad news for that number 48. It looks like not happening all too well as drivers like Carter Casey, who is a championship rival, way up into the second spot. Vinny Tigner gets past, and it looks like the number 1 machine will take that run. Now he's going to find himself contending against Michael Rosero. Max Wiesner fading back on pace here. Big time trouble. He's got damage again. It looks like cannot keep it out of the wall. They're in Kansas. Looking up front, though, it's going to be Michael Rosero leading, but Carter Casey impeding as they come through the backstretch once more. One more time, the 41's in trouble. Let's see, though, if Carter Casey's backstretch momentum can carry him to the lead. Last time he tried it, he was denied. This could change of pace. They work their way off the corner once again. It's going to be double file, 2 rows in this frame. However, it's not going to be 2 rows deep in succession. It's Kyle Jackson now fighting Jordan Kuntz. Jordan gets close to losing the spot. Jackson right now looking to get into podium positions for the first time this season. He's gotten close to a top 5 finish all throughout this playoff run. Just not able to make it happen at the end. Making it all work out to the checkered flag has been the big weakness of Kyle Jackson all season long. Tonight, though, could be the change of pace as Kyle works his way down the stretch all over again. The 96 knows that he will have to defend from Alec Daffin. Daffin now has some draft, and he's got his teammate behind him. They'll work together and eventually find themselves back up front, looking to charge on the leaders. 96 is in trouble as the last man in the lead pack. It's a good place to be for now, but when it gets contentious, he will have to fight for it. Leader, though, now sees it is 2 rows deep. It's Jordan Kuntz battling for third and gaining for time. Jordan Kuntz seems to be a strategic master at this circuit, or circuits like it. 1.5 courses have been his bread and butter. The B3 Designs 200 earlier in the season, it was the number 00 who was able to play the strategy just right and come home with yet another victory. He has been on top of his game, and when it needs to clutch race, he will bring one no matter what. It has been a strong suit from this campaign all year long to make things happen when they're needed, and much aspect of the 00 has had him as a championship favorite all season long. He's all but locked into the championship 4, as we mentioned. No worry for him tonight, but worry is in Carter Casey's mind as he leads that lap. Now think about Carter Casey and Michael Rosero all the same. They're 10 points out of the championship bubble as we speak. They'll be able to automatically gain on Eric Heater. As a matter of fact, Heater might be out of it as soon as we get through this night, but Matthew Weeks is there waiting in the wings. Weeks finds himself in 8 right now, but if he does get into the top 5, he will be the man who advances into the final 4 if the race was the deciding factor for the championship. So as it stands, Matthew Weeks does have an advantage going into the final 4, but he does still have a few more races to prove it. He's only about 6 points off of Eric Heater at the moment. Both of Michael Rosero and Carter Casey are tied 10 points out. They'll have to eliminate not 1 but 2 drivers to both make it in. However, there can only be 1 to win this race. A victory would lock either of which into the show. And Michael Rosero right now knows that he'll defend up high once again. It's going to be Carter Casey keeping himself intact. Nothing changes. They'll be side by side for lead all over again. Rest of the field cannot keep up right now. Alec Daffin finds himself with Matthew Weeks. Matthew looking to get into the top 5. He's going to keep battling for 7th here. Now Aaron Brown might be the next man to keep up with as a number 1 machine holds position number 1, but not by all too much. They continue to fight thick and thin. Michael Rosero now might have a clearing factor, and that he does. The number 41 goes up to the top spot on the board. It's Carter Casey 2nd. Vinny Tigner now is in 3rd. Come through once again. It looks like Vinny Tigner might be back in action. The number 99, though, does have Carter Casey and Michael Rosero to deal with. 2 drivers, very competitive. So we'll see whether or not that number 99 can get up to the top spot from pole position down to just within the podium. Not the best way to begin, but there's still a lot of time. Carter Casey defends up high once again, but Jordan Kuntz has none of it. Now Jordan's quick, and he'll take that run, take that blast, and make it happen to try to get in the 3rd. It's going to be Vinny Tigner, almost split 3 that time. He'll defend on the both of those drivers coming at him. Himself in the spot. 99 has a lot of guys to keep an eye out for. With all those so close to you, simply can't make it work at once, and that's exactly what happened. Jordan Kuntz now going to be able to make his way right down the backstretch, and he takes 2nd. Now, Kuntz is looking for the lead in another night where Jordan Kuntz has come alive. He has not raced every event this season, but even in a campaign that has not had every race in it, he has been very quick, and now looking for yet another victory that would in fact lock him in no matter what. Basically locked in on points right now, but a victory would even be Peter, so he'll try to take it. Come off with a corner, backstretch battling. He's got the draft, and he will be rattling on the cage of the 41 any day now. Last time by, he was about 1/10 of a second faster than Michael Rosero. With the Vinny Tigner in 3rd. The top 2, though, are beginning the breakaway once again. 17 laps thick and thin. The 41 has the lead, but the 00 will impede if this is how it goes. Now, with this being said, no yellow flags are going to be expected tonight. Smaller field than usual, so that in mind, simply not much more to be expected when it comes to yellows in tonight's event. One pace lap seems to be it for the night. Means we should see tire strategy. The man in the number 41 machine has himself up in front right now, but Jordan Kuntz lays off him big, and you know what that means? He is planning something big. The number 00, Jordan Kuntz, has done this before at Chicagoland, namely, he let Michael Rosero wear out his equipment and caught him in the very last run. That seems to be the way the 00 operates. Just let everyone else fail and you'll be able to succeed. Now as they work their way through once again, simply Jordan Kuntz have the power down no matter what. He'll have himself up high now. Looks like most leaders stay there. Only one driver in the top 10 frame is just to the inside of William Schmidt, and that was Matthew Weeks. Weeks stays in 6th right now. William now going to be in 7th. Schmidt not able to make it through the sea of drivers in this train. It has been locked up and blocked up all night long as the 79 comes up high. Once again, Matthew Weeks blocks in corner panel block, and they get close once again, but no contact. Matthew simply takes it down low. That's William Schmidt at that high side. He won't be able to do all too much because that time through would be something to keep an eye out for if anything else changes as the night goes on. Michael Rosero leads the way, 20 laps in at 134. It's Jordan Kuntz second and Vinny Taylor third. Casey gains the man to claim position number 4. Top 5 spread out by a total of 1 second at the moment. It's 21 laps in, more than 100 laps remain, so this race's strategy is only just beginning. Single file line, they're trying to log laps. Simply running these laps to make sure you don't wreck. A good game plan with a situation in mind. You do not want to find yourself in the wrecker at the end of the day. Make it to the checkered flag and you'll have a shot to win. If you can't make it there, how would you win? You simply just am. The number 41 knows this, so right now he's running his stuff very well. He goes down low that time, changing up the formula. He's about a half second away from your lead man at the moment. Looks like just about dead even on time though. Losing some time, but at the same time, in the long run, good games. And as they come off the front stretch once again, looking for the long run game. Jordan Kuntz not wearing up his equipment, defending everyone else. That might be the best way to play it, especially with the long run strategy in mind. Now, the 41 machine of Michael Rosero evidently is running his tires and his fuel all the way to the limit. Being a leader means there's no draft in front or even for his case behind you. We're going to be relying on your aerodynamics and your aero only. That's going to use up more fuel. As more fuel is consumed, more tire will be worn out. The 99 machine, and now it looks like William Schmidt has a bit of a different case. Schmidt has used a slingshot all night long and now finds himself barely in the 4th spot, chasing down Vinny Tigner. William Schmidt has made his way from the middle of the pack up to the front, and he's looking better and better each and every lap. Take a look on board the number 79 and see what he's doing here. He certainly has something going very well inside the cockpit. As he's up high, very light on the off the gas pedal, very light off, then heavy on, feathering the throttle and getting right back on the move. That's the game plan right now. With all that traffic, you really don't have to worry about all too much else. Your engine will be carried even if aren't at full throttle. I will be shocked. The telemetry said he was indeed at 100%. Even at that rate, at that closing rate, you could be at about 85% in gain. I'd be pushing it up just a bit more to make it a bit more unexpected when he does pass, but certainly in the right frame of mind. The 79 is. He's only about 1 second away from your leader. All Jordan Kuntz is losing time. He does know that it's better to keep the truck intact, chase down the lead. Oh, so early. Wise heads-up driving has been the name of the game so far. Laps in, it remains that way as Michael Rosero continues to burn out his stuff. A tenth of a second faster that time by Jordan Kuntz. Fades back even further. Max Wheeler is in jeopardy of going a lap down very soon, so we could see lap traffic by the time we hit lap number 40. Not good at all for that number 51 machine. finds himself way off the chopping block, and he's going to be lapped indeed. Michael Rosero now going to take another look. The 51 blocks him, and it looks like the 41 is in trouble. Now a lap machine the wall. He'll tag your leader. Does your leader save it? It looks like he does. No! Big hit. Destroyed. Max Wiesner hits the 41 of Michael Rosero, and that's his race. Big time hit. No yellow flag. My, oh my, I can't believe what we have just seen. Michael Rosero from the lead. That's big time destroyed. That might be a championship race in conclusion. The 41 machine had nowhere to go in that situation. He got destroyed by a lapper. Take an instant replay and find out what happened. This was your leader of Michael Rosero. And Rosero's up high, and we were mentioning he had something going very well. Now Jordan Cruz is the leader. Rosero's race is over, and the 41 goes down. And the 51, the lap machine blocks him. He has none of it. He tries to shake him off. And of course, for good reason as the leader. Then he gets tagged. First off, he makes a phenomenal save here. But take a look at this. Wiesner comes up and destroys him. That is absolutely intentional. I'm sure the admins will have a look back at that one. They won't be happy. Let's take a look at all the in-cockpit telemetry we can keep an eye on. We only have a limited amount we can see in specific. Let's see the rear view. Was the 41 down there? He did block, he did see, and gets the tap. And he gets put in the wall. He's not happy about that. He tags him, and he sails it down low. And you can hear it. He kept his foot in it there. Big time trouble. And I'm certain they're going to park him for the rest of the night. Let's take a look at what's going on here. The number 51 of Max finds himself actually still driving. One lap down as it stands. And he's already wrecked the leader. Now it's a different battle up in front. Wiesner now is in 10th. Michael Rosero is down in 12th, and Jordan Parker is in 11th. Look up front, though. Jordan Kuntz, 30 laps in, is your race leader. And after your most recently got destroyed on the top spot of the pylon, another that has taken the lead. How about the drama so far here in Kansas? Big time hit. Unbelievable circumstances, and now Jordan Kuntz battles for the lead. Didn't look like it earlier on, but now Vinny Tigner finds himself in second with Carter Casey in third, and William Schmidt now gets into that third spot, working his way up high. The field has been separated once again. Every driver is still racing, and it looks like the number 79 finds himself on the podium. Kenny Reel works his way down and in. That might be it for him. It could be the first competitive stop. It looks like he'll stay on the track, so he comes down for the first pit stop, and it's going to be Vinny Tigner who follows him right there with Carter Casey and Kyle Jackson. Pit road is occupied for the first time tonight, and many drivers come down and in at once. Max Wiesner is now going to be very slow and very low at a speed of about 127 miles an hour. He is in trouble. I'm not sure why. I thought he lost his fuel. It looks like he'll keep on going. Is in trouble given the pace. Jordan Kuntz, though, out in front, leads this race. He'll come down at pit road when he needs to. Certainly going to be this time by. He barely makes it in. Has enough fuel too. Then William Schmidt comes in with him. Schmidt lets Matthew Weeks takes the lead that time by. It's Matthew Weeks out in front with Aaron Brown and Alec Daffin. Daffin remains on the circuit. It's Matthew Weeks there in first. Now 3 drivers remain on the track. There we have it. The 11 machine works his way right down the back. It'll be Aaron Brown in second right there with him. Alec Daffin in third. 2 Shaw Racing machines out in front chasing the independent number 11. Looks like they can't get to him so far. A lot of time, though, to perhaps track him down as Matthew Weeks makes it in this time easily. Aaron Brown will follow him, and now it looks like the number 79 is out in front of Jordan Kuntz, but just barely uses that high line and gets himself back going. He'll have a bit of a better run coming out of pit road. Jordan Kuntz to follow. Alec Daffin now on his way will be out in front. They're going to be able to keep themselves in very close contact with the leaders, but Daffin does have to pit, so he's in trouble regardless. Oh boy, we've seen some crazy racing so far. 34 laps in, it's going to be a race down to pit road for Alec Daffin. Make himself this time by. Was able to grab the lead, but only temporarily. Matthew Weeks gets on away. Vinny Tigner is overall leader. Alec Daffin now going to come down to pit road, and that's going to change. Tigner, followed by William Schmidt and Jordan Kuntz, are your top 3 as soon as Alec gets himself off of the top spot on the pylon. 34 laps in, we have seen some big time moves Moves have been made, and now William Schmidt finds himself in third. He raced very well so far, but Jordan Kuntz, who's dominated this one, or at least the beginning segment, has something to say. He'll try to take this lead right back. Alec Daffin still on pit road here. Tigner coming across the front stretch will easily get him. Alec Daffin fading further back. And pit road has not been Alec Daffin's strong suit all season long. We've seen him get multiple pit road penalties from top spots, even from the lead before. He could jeopardize chances at victory given many pit stop errors. But right now, just looking to avoid them. Nice and smooth, slow and steady might win the race for him. Vinny Tigner leads this race 36 laps in. It's been a good run here for the number 99 machine. He has William Schmidt right there behind him, and Jordan Kuntz is now beside him. He'll go up high, try to make something happen. Not that time through it. Matthew Weeks going to be there in fourth. It's going to be Aaron Brown in fifth, Carter Casey in sixth, and Kyle Jackson in seventh. Jordan Parker going to be position number 8, and Alec Daffin is in ninth. And he reached now one lap down in 10th with Max Wheat in 11th. Vinny Tigner, though, does in fact lead the way, and the 99 machine has himself a good shot at a victory here if William Schmidt does not get right back to him. Schmidt does have himself in a good spot to maybe make that time back, though, and it looks like he could working his way off the backstretch. Newer tire by one lap, and while that's a very small advantage, nonetheless, and using that time he's gaining to get more draft meets. Simply have to put less effort in to get that lead. Saving fuel, saving tire, and saving face, William Schmidt finds himself now 1/10 of a second away from your lead, with Vinny Tigner still out in front. Closing rate has increased by now over 1/10 of a second each and every lap. Last time by for Tigner, Vinny ran himself a 31.7. It was a 31.5 for the man of the 79 machine. Now that 31.5 could increase more. Time is of the essence for the number 99 machine, and Vinny Tigner knows time could be running out as the top driver. He's got not one but two hard-charging machines right there with him, and it looks like that 00 has a chance to make it happen once again. Time after time, they'll keep on coming. The 99 machine coming into a bit of a troublesome point. 39 laps in, he would get past here, and William Schmidt has had his best race up to this point in this league. It could be a victory for him. 3 drivers out in front. You'll have to take a look 3 seconds back to find Matthew Weeks. From Brown's in 5th, Carter Casey's 6th, and it's Jordan Parker in 7th. Position number 8 is going to be Kyle Jackson right now. Alec Daffin's in 9th. 9 drivers on the lead lap. Michael Rosero, your only retiree after a big-time incident with Max Wheat, is still racing. No penalty given. Looks like he'll stay that way for the remainder of this night. William Schmidt down the back takes the lead, and Malda 79 finds himself out in front, bringing Jordan Kuntz right there with him. 40 laps in, big time switch, and we got a new race leader with the 79 holding fort in the top spot. William Schmidt now going to be in the perfect position to go all the way. It's Jordan Kuntz there in second, here to stay. Vinny Tigner going to be in the third position though. Matthew Weeks now going to be in fourth. Aaron Brown in fifth. It's very spaced out after for top 3. Williams going to be in there in the first position. Closest guys are going to be Kuntz and Tigner. Jordan Kuntz right down low. Vinny Tigner staying up high. Side by side they were. They are no longer though. Looks like Jordan Kuntz ongoing. The 79 machine, William Schmidt leads the way. 1/10 of a second back. It is Jordan. 00 keeps himself there in the second spot. Vinny Tigner's in third. Closest battle remains in the back. Jordan Parker goes down low on Carter Casey. And despite older tires on that 65, it looks like Jordan Parker's got a shot to make a pass. Max Wiesner is in the wall once again. No contact with anyone that time by. Or is it? It looks like he comes down low, and he almost hits another. That's Kyle Jackson in jeopardy. Jackson gets oh so close to making it happen, and Kenny Real swerves out the way. Big time movement. How about that? Michael Rosero in the chat, Issa in the chat as well. Big time movement again. Jackson saves face. Max Wiesner is now coming down to pit road. There's no more grip in that number 51 machine. Bad news. He'll make his way to pit road this time fine after multiple incidents. Almost another with the lead lappers. Will finally make his way down low. Nothing going to happen to him except voluntarily exiting this one, it appears. It's the 79 who has himself real close with Jordan Kuntz. Boots has himself right up high once again. Schmitty keeps it down low, but it could be Vinny Tigner who gets himself in the top spot. Right up high, Vinny finds himself. It's going to be William Schmidt there in second. Jordan Coots now has that backstretch momentum, takes it out of the way. Take a look on the rear view, see what's going on. Jordan Coots now works his way multiple lanes. He switches them. The 00 machine is there in first. It was a good run for William Schmidt to get up there, but he burned out the tire and let the 00 go. Once again, that seems to be the way it goes for number 00. Let the opposition wear themselves out and then go for the lead. Certainly a different scenario with Michael Rosero earlier on in the going, wrecked by the 51 of Wiesner, who has retired from this event immediately thereafter. However, the 00 now is working on William Schmidt without anyone else in mind. No lapper in jeopardy bar Kenny Real, and Real right now 1 lap down. It appears to be on a botched strategy, working with Carter Casey. He gets by Casey that time by Alec Daffin, gets passed by the number 48, and it looks like the number 65 has a good shot to go for the top 5 if he can get by the Aaron Brown machine. Aaron Brown, as it stands in that number 8, is 10 seconds behind Matthew Weeks. The big gap, your top 4 separated by only 2 seconds. Look at it once again. Matthew Weeks finds himself alone even still. Jordan Kuntz is the leader. William Schmidt there in second. It is Vinny Tigner up high for third. Your podium places very close, with the 99 finds himself on a different lane. Trying to think a bit outside the box here. It doesn't work for a position. Could have worked once again to try to get momentum. Looks like the best of both worlds don't combine. Another fan of the chat, Nicky Hicks Jr., looking for Jordan Parker to get this one done. Having his best race so far. Made it around on pace on Alec Daffin. Very well, trying to keep up that momentum. Very, very close it could have been, but it does not work that time around. Maybe it'll work the next. Now it looks like the 65 goes for the move once again. Jordan Parker on a Thrustmaster T80. Making it happen. The wheel does not define him, and it is going very well. Despite some setbacks, he finds himself now in seventh. Jordan Parker, a multi-time top 10 finisher. One of the drivers in the final 16 this season. Yes, there for the taking, and now gets passed by Kenny Real. Real gonna do his bidding, as Kenny now 1 lap down, chasing these drivers behind him as a lapper. 1 lap down, Kenny Real is. He need a yellow flag to get back up as Jordan Kuntz leads the way. William Schmidt right behind him, 1/10 of a second adrift. It is Vinny Tigner there in third. Top 3 remain. Oh so close, 1 by 1. By 1. It's Jordan Kuntz leading and William Schmidt in second. Your top 2 guys remain glued to one another. The 99 chooses once again to take a different line. It does not work for a pass, but it could here. He's right by the back bumper of the 79 machine once again, all over. That number 99 is, and he has an opportunity just to make it happen. One more time would be a miracle, at least until the fuel strategy comes back into the equation. Once again, it might be best to even stall out for the time being as Schmidt goes down low. He'll try to hold on to second and even go for the lead, but it looks like it will not work out for leading past. The number 79 stays down low, keeps himself intact. Although William Schmidt finds himself in third, big time move. The high line remains the best lane. 79 falls back further as Jordan Kuntz now defends up top. More room to cover from that area. You could just chop down low. You can't really chop back up from the bottom lane, and that is evident as William Schmidt finds himself now in third. Vinny Tigner going to be there in second. It is going to be now Jordan Kuntz in first. Top 3 separated by only about 3/10 of a second. Matthew Weeks is getting closer, and he is getting quicker. Now only half a second away from your leading battle. 4 drivers, 1 second. The next man behind him is 17 seconds behind. Big time gap. It has been dominance for your guys up in front. And the big time shift in pace can only be accounted for by strategy. So far, it seems like the driver of the number 00 has had the best thing going. Now, Max Wiesner was parked. That is the case, Slinky. Big time incident between him and Michael Rosero, and he's out for the night. And further repercussion. The 00 machine holds on out in front. He may have benefited the most from that wreck. He went up from second to first and now controls not only the race lead, but the fuel strategy all the same. Matthew Weeks, though, looks to have some big control in his number 11. No control issues right now. He has it exactly where he wants it. He got a very good opportunity to go down low once again and perhaps swipe a spot. William Schmidt is there in third, and a one pass. Matthew Weeks builds up the momentum. He is faster than the rest of the field right now, but not by much. Last time by, your leader, Jordan Kuntz, ran at 32.373. And in fourth, Matthew Weeks, and at 32.49. He's only about a tenth of a second quicker lap after lap, but that is a gain nonetheless. And that gain could keep on giving more chances at the lead as the race goes on. The 00 finds himself still leading 54 laps in. Don't count out the rest of this field. They will keep on trying to battle back at least till the job is done. Right now, the job is far from over. Halfway has not been reached, so the pressure might not be at its highest. They're waiting to, when push comes to shove, you might see a bit less given and a lot more taken. It's a big time give and take so far. That will change as the night keeps on running. 10 drivers on your track at the moment, and it's 10 slated to finish. 9 at the very least on the lead lap. Kenny Real stands. We'll see how long Kenny Real stays in that spot. 1 lap down as Jordan Parker works his way in. He'll come in after a 27 lap stint. So it's going to be the number 65 on his way with Carter Casey, 2 men in. And it looks like the rest of the field will see Kyle Jackson come through as well. Now up to Jordan Kuntz and this big 4 battle to keep on going as Matthew Weeks now fades back just a bit more. Jordan Kuntz going to be there in the first spot. Vinny Tigner is in second. William Schmidt in third. Stayed in single file fashion for quite some time now. Long they stay the remainder of the way. Down low, Vinny Tigner sees himself go just a bit. Won't make a pass on it, but does get close to signaling something is in mind. He'll just keep himself in the back pocket for now. Wait to come down pit road. Only about 5 laps remain until the fuel cycle will be over. He'll have to come down by that point, if not earlier. He wants to keep racing for tonight. Jordan Kuntz keeps himself out in front. It's Vinny Tigner in second, and then William Schmidt in third. As it stands, though, just about 6 drivers on the lead lap, going right back to the man in the 48. It is Alec Daffin in 6th. Racing with Tom Brown in position number 5. He has to come down to pit road, and so does the top 4 group as well. They'll make it in. It looks like next time by at the very earliest. They'll not to come this time through. Waiting is the big game for him and his field. Jordan Kuntz plays the waiting game out in front, and he'll bring them all down once again. Waiting is going to be not possible for William Schmidt. He gets in the wall that time by, fades back to 4th. The 79 is in the wall and loses a spot. That's going to be bad news for the winning pursuit. Stays inside the top 5, but not by all too much. He finds himself in more trouble than we have seen all night long. The 79 on his own accord finds himself down on the wall. Comes down once again. He'll have to come down to pit road very soon. Big time damage. It might not have been, but it will be big time momentum that's lost. He's now a second off of your leaders. 2 drivers are glued to one another. The rest of the field is spread apart. Even going back to Matthew Weeks, half a second adrift from your top spot on the board. And with that being said, Jordan Kuntz now on to his 26th lap of this stint. He'll have to come down before the lap 35 mark is in mind. It looks like we guys come down as early as lap number 22 on their stint. Kyle Jackson, Jordan Parker, and Carter Casey all came down very early, trying to make something happen on an alternative strategy. Does not look to be working at the moment. However, the 00 machine knows the long game is the best game. Better results out of it so far. 60 laps in, and went about 33 laps last time by. You don't want to go in all too early unless you absolutely have to. Fits in 4th. Matthew Weeks is now racing with a Carter Casey machine that gets right by for a lap. Jordan Parker looking to do the same. He's a bit further off right now, but he should be able to get that lap back, maybe even before these guys come down to pit road. Last time by, your leader ran a lap 1.5 seconds off the all-time best he has ran at this track. His session 31.195 is best so far. And Jordan Kuntz most recently ran 32.67. Bad news for the man in that number 00. He leads the way 61 laps through, not in jeopardy of much. Does not have anyone with him right now. Coming down to pit road, lap number 30 for the stint up in front. 62 laps have been hit. Here and now, Jordan Kuntz finds himself in the lead. No trouble right now. Vinny Tigner is second, and Matthew Weeks is in third. William Schmidt's in fourth. Aaron Brown is in fifth. Alec Davin rounds at your lead lap with Kenny Real 1 lap down, looking to put himself on the lead lap with some savvy strategy calls. Has not been able to get back up there at the very least at this moment, but leaves those at least 1 lap down for the time being, and that is a good sign even if he is not on that lead lap. Big time championship pieces of the puzzle are there in the mix, such as Carter Casey and Jordan Parker, both inside the final 16, having a good run nonetheless, just outside the top 5 as your top 4 come by your Jordan Parker gets by the number 79, and now Kenny Real is down to pit road. He'll make his way in at lap number 63, 30 laps in his stint. Your leader does not come down in, but it looks like the number 99 does. Vinny Tigner is through, and he will make his way in without much else to mention. William Schmidt going to be on his way, though he'll stay in third. Top 3 guys are still out on the track now. Comes down to just about 5 drivers will not yet come down to pit road for their second stop of the race. This will be about a 4-stop event the way things have gone. The number 00 machine, 64 laps in, finds himself out in front. Got a ways to go until the checkered flag falls, but he's had this race in his hands so far. He'll come down to pit road for stop number 2 without anyone with him. Matthew Weeks leads the way. He'll extend his run once again. Now he finds himself in the lead with his 31st lap of the stint in a session. And now Matthew Weeks, as your race leader, has to come down to pit road and end this experiment. Running long, the number 11 has done it twice in a row. That's the chance to do it once again. Does it work out? That remains to be seen. It could work his way. It could go the other. Looks like this time through them, no issue. He'll take his way right down in. Matthew Weeks on pit road. William Schmidt coming with them. And Aaron Brown now has to come in with the number 48 machine. They'll make their way through sometime soon, as they're on the backstretch right now. Even if they're on the lead lap, they're pretty far behind. The number 11 Matthew Weeks holds on out in front. Alec Davin, Emmett and Aaron Brown come down to pit road this time by. Looks like they will avoid it. Next time will be the move, as Alec Davin is there in fourth. Jordan Kuntz is looking to be your overall leader on the cycle. Brown and Daffin take the lead. Matthew Weeks still on pit road here. He's going to be able to roll off this time by. Jordan Kuntz in the backdrop is coming, and he is coming quick. William Schmidt gets off pit road as well. Jordan Kuntz is on his way as they work their way off into turns 1 and 2. The 00 has a shot, and he will take it. Jordan Kuntz now going to be your overall leader as this pit cycle ends. And it looks like Kyle Jackson trying to get his lead lap status back in effect. The number 96, 1 lap down as is, and he's very close getting out of that issue. He'll take himself through. Jordan Parker right now is right in the mix as well. He'll be there when the 2 drivers who were leading make their way down, and it looks like Alec Davin in time to make it through one last trip down the backstretch, and they'll have to contemplate the pit road entry that they, of course, don't want to see. They're in the lead already, 67 laps in, and the cross flags will wave this time by. Take a look at this. The number 67 machine not there, but the 8 is at 67 laps in. The halfway marker is here and now. Your first half has been exciting, and now it will be all about the rest of the way. The 48 machine finds himself in second, and round in first. Top 2 guys have led this one, and they've been out of this stint for 34 laps. The longest that we have seen out of any run so far. Playing the long game is the move for the men up in front. Aaron Brown down to the apron, and Brown is down. Daffin is not. He'll try to run a very more aggressive strategy up on the circuit for 1 extra lap. The 48 leads the way now. It's Alec Daffin, your leader, with Aaron Brown in second, and now Jordan Parker looking to get back in the lead lap. And Jordan Parker with the pace to stay on the lead lap tonight. A very commendable effort for that number 65 and their crew. Has been one of the better races out of this operation all season long, and running top 10 on pace without anything else to of. It has been a good day for the number 65 and Fisher Studios, the title sponsor of this league, represented well. Their leader comes down and in 69 laps in. It's been a nice run so far, but will it be nice the rest of the way? That remains to be seen as Alec Daffin takes him through with Matthew Weeks, now your leader. Weeks has himself out in front with Vinny Tigner chasing him in second, and and Jordan Kuntz in third. Matthew Weeks with the long game playing out a bit better than we expected. He finds himself in first now, and he's got a bigger gap than we have seen from any driver off of pit road before. Vinny Tigner now finds himself about a half second away, and while that is a close margin in Kansas, the track is so tight, very little extra room to make or gain anything. You can't deny yourself of each and every tenth. The more you can get, the better. And now, having nearly a 1 second lead, Matthew Weeks is more in the safe zone we'd expect. Finds himself in good standing to perhaps go all the way and take this home to the checkers. 64 laps to go, and it is Alec Daffin was out in front who came down a pit road. Now it is the Daffin machine in position number 8. Their leader, though, stays in first. Hot spot for the number 11, and Matthew Weeks 11 holds his head up high, himself up front, hoping to keep it there until the motor dies. Alec Daffin fading back, so is Aaron Brown. It's now going to be the Alec Daffin machine in 9th, letting the number 65, Jordan Parker, cycle up into 6th. Almost inside the top 5 tonight, Jordan Parker getting the best run he's had all season long. This could be the most defining event for him as the 65 comes through with 63 laps to go. How's about we take a lap on board with your title sponsor in tonight's event, the Fisher Studios 200, and their big driver, Jordan Parker, with about 60 remaining. He is on his way in the 65. Let's take a look on board and find out how he does it. Nice and smooth, Jordan Parker has been at, but he just passed another Jordan in Jordan Kuntz. Kuntz is back down on pit road, and for bad reason. Let's find out what just happened. He makes his way in, looks like a miscalculation on his last pit stop, and he makes his way through. Big time problem. Let's take an eye on it. You can see he came down to pit road about 40 seconds ago. Extra replay will show you there's something that caused it, and that looked to be an incident. Let's find out what it was. Trying to dissect it. Simply looks like he'll make it down to pit road for a reason regarding strategy. So no contact there, but it is an incident inside the cockpit. Something went wrong, and now strategy is big time off. 60 laps remaining. Matthew Weeks now has a much better shot to win. His biggest adversary makes a mistake. Now your number 11 finds itself out in front. Carter Casey comes through too. Multiple drivers coming in now. There seems to be a problem. This pit stall is occupied for Jordan, well, not Parker, but Jordan Kuntz. But Carter Casey comes in as well. I'm not sure if this is a sign of something else. They're coming through right now, just like it was yesterday. Just came down for another stop. Kyle Jackson there as well. This has been a short stint. And now we're seeing different results from pit strategy. My oh my, things are coming together. Maybe not in the best of ways for others, but for Matthew Weeks, this is exactly what he'd be hoping for with 76 laps in the book so far and drivers fading out of contention. It's time to shine. Driver in this spot like the number 11. Just keep on racing here and you'll have yourself a checkered flag to lock yourself in to the final 4 and be the first playoff driver to get a win before that big final event. To win before the final 4 is to make yourself a championship contender automatically, and that's exactly what the number 11 wants to do. He's now going to try to make it by Jordan Parker. He puts Parker 1 lap down. Now the 65, who's in 4th, comes down a pit road. It's time to make it in. Aaron Brown gonna make it by, and they'll all cycle right through the number 65 this time around. And now Matthew, 12 laps into his stint, looking good to perhaps go all the way. Weeks finds himself up in front in that number 11 by 3 seconds over Vinny Tigner and William Schmidt, now 13 seconds off in 3rd. These guys are on the same strategy right now, so it looks like they know what they're doing in tandem. Mindset working out best for your leader. The closest battle on the racing circuit between Alec Daffin and Aaron Brown. And now trying to make it up on Vinny Tigner, your leading lapper, McGuy. It's going to be the 99, the lead lapper in this situation, at the very least, as both drivers behind him are outside of the lead lap. Only 3 drivers remain on that lead lap at the moment. Those drivers will be William Schmidt, Vinny Tigner, and Matthew Weeks. Weeks on a dominating streak right now. He looks to be good to go all the way and will continue his dominating process. Now, very few remain on the lead lap for a shot at the victory. And if we get a yellow flag, guys like Aaron Brown and Alec Daffin are actually on a newer set of tire than your leaders, so they found themselves on the short end of the strategic stick once again. My, oh my, it's bad news up in front as Vinny Tigner now finds himself in second. And while he is there in the runner-up spot, Matthew Weeks is still that much faster. That time by gained a 1/10 of a second on the lead he has. Building more of a gap is the way he's been going at it, and he looks good to keep on gaining as the night is still going. Kenny reeled down in this time by in a 16-lap old stint. Many drivers short pitting at this time by. They're going to try to go till the end of the race on this stint. I believe that is the game plan here as they come down and through. The 23 makes it in for B3 Designs here, the only B3 driver on the track tonight. He'll make his way in and find himself on pit road at the 8th position as Alec Daffin slowly but surely tries to gain in on Vinny Tigner. Aaron Brown gains big time on his teammate, and now Aaron looks to be safe for 4th at the end of the night. Vinny Tigner leads by 4 seconds over the number 7-9. He leads by more than 4 seconds now. It's an 11-second gap between Tigner and William Schmidt as Matthew Weeks holds on strong. Weeks is out in front by 4 seconds overall on the remainder of the field, including your second-place driver in Vinny Tigner. Domination so far, shades of Dylan Basin, another Toyota driver finding themselves out in front, looking to take home the victory without much competition. And despite competition being there early, Vinny Tigner was close, so was Michael Rosero, and so was Jordan Kuntz. It seems like the number 11 machine has made his way up in front with a good shot to make it happen till the end. With the competitors that he was racing earlier fading out of frame, like that number 11 could make it through if he just keeps the pedal to the metal and he keeps it out of the wall. At a good pace right now, last time by, about a 1/10 of a second slower than Tigner. That might be decreasing, but they're only about 10 laps, 10-15 laps away from yet another time down pit road. It's been cyclic all night long. Not be much longer until that number 65 machine comes down pit road again. He's now in 10th, but your leader due to come in as well. No drivers within 1 second of each other unless they're lappers and leading drivers mixing up. No battles on the track at the moment, save for the one that Alec Daffin might have with Vinny Tigner, but Tigner got the better of him. Aaron Brown right now has the better of the number 99. Looks like Vinny that time by was slower than Alec Daffin, only by about less than a 1/10 of a second. They're all running very even pace right now. Not enough to gain or lose any time or any position. It's become a bit of a stalemate out in front, and the number 11 benefits the most. And with this man in the beneficiary position to go all the way, now know that safety is the key to make it to the checkered flag. It has been a game of push, push, push out in front. Very small packs, but although they were small, they were aggressive. Many drivers were trying to take that top spot, comparing to each other. Well, of course, the front spot every time they thought they'd be worth it, and then another driver would take it. They go back and forth for a few laps, but now the lead battle has ended. It has all come down to a longer strategic run, and with a Matthew Weeks machine so far out in front, it would take a disaster on pit road. Is this lead not the entirety of the position? It's very rare to see that one happen. Good shot to make it through as Matthew Weeks comes down pit road on a 20-lap stint to short pit it all the way. Vinny Tigner leads, and he'll try to take it a bit longer to go to the checkered flag, perhaps on a different load of fuel. This is a big strategic mark in the race. 48 laps to go, 87 laps in, no yellow flags have fallen, and that could be the final stop we see from the 11 all night long. And you know why? That could be the final stop. 48 to go. Could stretch it from that point onward. A very big risk for him to do so. He might be trying to set it up a different way as well. That being said, the number 99 might have a bit of a different approach in his own right, trying to go longer or stocks out of it in a different pace. Would get in the lead of the race very late in the going. All the calculations in these drivers' head are being made in real time. Many of these guys don't have a team around them. They've got to think for themselves, and that's the biggest challenge, especially with the pressure. The championship battle now with high stakes up to $150. Your championship winner don't want to find yourself in the short end of the stick. It seems like right now, number 99 is in a good position to go all the way if he finds himself the leader at 10 laps to go. That marker will be the be-all, end-all, and the telling marker of the winner or the loser. Right now, it is the number 11 Matthew Weeks who cycles back into fifth. Alec Daffin in fourth, and Aaron Brown, as it stands, leads those with the Fisher Studios truck marker. There's many in the field tonight. There was Max Wiesner, Jordan Parker, Alec Daffin, and Aaron Brown. Lax Parker Racing combining forces with Shaw Racing tonight to bring to you 4 Fisher Studios trucks. Right now, the driver of the number 8 machine, Aaron Brown, leads the Fisher Studios Forte out there in the podium. Their partnership has worked quite well. 4 drivers in the Fisher Studios banner enter tonight. 3 drivers are still racing. Max Wiesner was the last of which, and now it comes down to the 8 machine and the 48 running in front of the team owner in Jordan Parker. Kenny Real retired for the night. That's going to be it for him in the number 23. Now 3 laps down. 9 drivers remaining. Jordan Parker now 3 laps down on some alternate strategy calls. We'll see how it works out for him as the night goes on. Simply not able to make it happen right now. It looks like some trouble inside the cockpit for the 65. Fading more and more. Running as high as the 4th spot earlier in the going. Jordan Parker now the final guy still racing. 44 laps to go. Vinny Tigner going to be battling with the number 8 machine. Aaron Brown gets by, and that puts Aaron Brown on the lead lap, but only for now. As the number 99 and the number 8 all the same have to come down pit road. Set the record straight one more time. Just like that, Aaron Brown in 3rd on the lead lap. Only 3 drivers in the lead lap. It's going to come down to very slim margins and very slim numbers. A few drivers in contention to get the checkered flag tonight. The 8 machine might be one of which, but the rest of the field certainly far out of play. Alec Daffin, while he is only a few seconds away from Aaron Brown, actually finds himself 1 lap down. It's a bit of a switch up in terms of the deflection. The leader is in front of him, but Aaron Brown is even further up in front. Therefore, Aaron Brown is on a different lap entirely, despite the very short deficit. As a matter of fact, these guys up in front, 3rd and 4th, are only separated by 1 second, and they're on an entirely different lap. Matthew Weeks now finds himself going into the 4th spot by Alec Daffin. He's 1 lap down, and he's trying to chase down the leader to get back in the lead lap before the fuel cycle and the pit cycle is back in full swing. 42 laps to go. Matthew Weeks is due to make it down to 1 more pit stop tonight. We'll find out when it comes. Still a long ways to go in terms of strategy, and the fuel load is lowered each and every night here in the stock car racing. For fuel races, always ready to go with no yellow flags on the night so far. 94 laps in. It's going to be 40 laps to go to determine who gets the checker flag. Number 99 has this race lead in his hands so far. Get more time though until he locks down the job. The number 79 machine of William Schmidt in second is 17 seconds away. After he now finds himself more than a lap off. Have to get by the 99 to be safe to make it back to lead. Still a few seconds adrift. Ooh, that number 99 comes down to pit road. He has been on his stint for 31 laps. He'll try to hold on to the bitter end. Make it a 1 final stop. And the money stop will be his next one. Coming very soon on this track. Kansas with the Fisher Studios 200 coming out a big time strategy. All the fuel implications these drivers can have. Now down to pit road, it is Vinny Tigner. He'll make it in just barely, making it onto the track and off without any incident. Now William Schmidt due to become your leader with Aaron Brown in second. We'll see if he comes down to pit road this time by. That might be the call for the 79 machine, and it looks like that it will not be. William Schmidt will take the lead this time by and end up as your leading man at lap number 97. Time through, William Schmidt does not lead the lap. Nonetheless, he keeps it kicking without much of a problem. William Schmidt is your leader in this moment. 96 laps in, and for SKS Racing, Schmidt still looking for his first win of the season. He's been close to getting it done, has not gotten there yet. podium finish very recently is his best effort so far. Nothing more. He's gotten out of his truck, and the 7-9, a contender last season for the championship, on a part-time basis this season, not able to make it happen for another title run. However, Aaron Brown right now is in a title run and runs fiercely in second. Matthew Weeks looking right behind him, trying to get there into the second spot. Matthew finds himself in third, running every driver down on pace. The 11 looks to be set for another victory lane leading. We'd love to have one with all the stakes in mind. A victory here would be a seal and lock in the final four and would save him all the stress and all the pressure of the remainder of the season. Every driver wants it, but very few drivers can have it. A win in the final round of the playoffs before the very final race. Everything drivers, and they want to make it happen before the season is over. Matthew Weeks would benefit greatly behind the cut line as it stands. As a matter of fact, we'll bring up your championship standings as the race on going. 37 laps to go here in Kansas Speedway. Take a look at the standings as it stands. And many of your best drivers are up in front. Jordan Kuntz, Alec Daffin, Vinny Tigner, and Eric Heater enter tonight up in front of the point standings. Matthew Weeks and it looks like Carter Casey stands to gain most as Michael Rosero retires 12th and last on the night. Kyle Jackson down at pit road right now. The rest of the field, some guys on that picture you see right now are in. Some of them are not. So gotta keep an eye on all these drivers as it goes in the final stretch. Matthew Weeks deserves to get a big clutch win if he gets it done. Finishes on top, a win, and he is in. That's the system we're running with. Get himself into the final four on just one run. William Schmidt, 100 laps in, leads the way, and 35 laps remain. He has a very little distance to go, but the win is still far out the picture, despite very good strategy calls. 34 laps remain. He'll have to come down to pit road this time, but the next, he's still shaking it, and he's almost out of fuel. William Schmidt finds himself in big trouble as a 7-9 has to come down to pit road this time by. He'll limp it down to pit road. Make it in on a very long 34-lap stint, and with 35 laps to go, he'll certainly be safe to go all the way. Aaron Brown and Matthew Weeks battle for the lead. Matthew Weeks has more than 20 laps remaining on his stint. Aaron Brown is all but done with his. Big time changes in strategy, all represented up front of the field as the 8 machine leads, and the number 11 stays right behind him. Aaron Brown, despite all the impact, all the changes in strategy, he finds himself out in front with 34 laps remaining. He might not be the man who gets it done at the end of the night, but it has been a very admirable run in this number 8 operation. Running the best out of all the Fisher Studios trucks all night long. He'll make it down to pit road for his final stop of the night. Matthew Weeks now leads with Jordan Kuntz in second. He'll have one more stop as well. Jordan will make it down within 5 laps time. That will be it for the number 00 in terms of pit stops without a yellow flag. 102 laps in, we have not seen that yellow flag just yet, and I don't expect it the way things have gone. Now, Jordan finds himself out in front. Matthew Weeks there in first, 33 remaining. That number 11 machine finds himself way up high all over again. Jordan Kuntz going to be there in the second spot. Alec Daffin is in third. Vinny Tigner's in fourth. And Carter Casey is in fifth. Carter Casey looking to be the world's strongest driver in this round for the world's strongest coffee. Putting himself in the top 5, not a bad run. Started in third earlier in the going tonight, and over 100 lap stint to stay through the thick and thin, and making it to the end is an achievement in its own right. Right now, he just wants to make it to that checkered flag in order to make it a good, successful run. He'll gain some points on Eric Heater on the cut line. Regardless of what happens tonight, he just has to gain some more to make it to that final 4 without a doubt. Carter Casey keeps it going. Now Kuntz comes in with Alec Daffin, multiple drivers in at once. Now it's all down to Vinny Tigner and Matthew Weeks. Weeks can go all the way. I don't think that's going to be the case, actually. Matthew Weeks cannot go all the way he's going. Vinny Tigner, however, can. William Schmidt now getting close, and so is the number 99. I think the fuel strategy race comes down to these two. If the number 99 does save enough, he could go all the way. Right now he's chasing big, and he is using all that momentum up to try to get up to your leader. I don't know if the game plan is to save for him or if it's going to go aggressive. Right now, 30 laps to go. The number 11 leads the way. Vinny Tigner's there in second, and Carter Casey is there in third. And now Casey comes down the pit road to make it in on his own accord. That will be the final stop for him. He'll be good to go the rest of the way. Some drivers have liked their runs long, others have liked their runs short. Different run preferences, and it is evident right now the number 11 machine liked it a bit longer and a bit stronger. He'll take a better run than a longer run, quality over quantity, so to speak. And the way he's been able to prepare himself all throughout the going has been splendid. Now finds himself there in second. Matthew Weeks chasing down Vinny Tigner, and it looks like Weeks has an opportunity to go for that lead once again. Vinny Tigner got it though, able to hold on to it. He will have to save to make it a checkered flag. Vinny Tigner will, but he could make it happen. Nothing is out of the question here in the Stock Car Racing League Fisher Studios Truck Series. They're pushing to that red line here. Very little time in mind. 107 laps in, 28 laps remaining. Time is running out. Every one of these drivers looks like with that in mind, crunch time will play a big factor in decisions these guys make. Vinny Tigner on an 11-lap stint right now. It's Matthew Weeks on a 20-lap run. And both of these guys look to be the favorites to go all the way. William Schmidt on a 5-lap stint, though. He finds himself in third. Both of the drivers in front pit, it could be an underdog. William Schmidt wins. Schmidt might know what he's doing here, looking for his first win all season long. The 7-9 has been long awaiting one, and he's right now on the lead lap in the podium positions. Might be the man to get it done in third. Looking good so far, the 7-9 machine is, as Vinny Tigner finds himself in lead. They put that 7-9 one lap down, but it looks not grapple. Once again, good running so far, all out in front. Vinny leading, Matthew second, William Schmidt in third, and Aaron Brown in position number 4, Jordan Coots in 5th, and Alec Daffin in 6th. Look at this field. Only 2 drivers in the lead lap, and you're seeing them on your frame. Matthew second, and for a glimpse there, Vinny Tigner in first. It has been pure dominance out in front, and 2 drivers remain on your lead lap, and it's going to be a barn burner to the finish. I tell you what, these drivers know everything's on the line. But if you're not on that lead lap, and very few drivers are, the checkered flag, it awaits you, and you want to hit it. Every extra playoff point counts in this situation, and the guys who know it, well, they have been showing it. They will not back down from a challenge. It's been a challenging night for each and every one of these guys. Many drivers have seen wrecks. Many have seen interruptions in their strategic play. Now, checkered flag getting nearer and dearer. Drivers will just have to maneuver a few more laps. Victory could be theirs. Vinny Tigner is gaining more time. He is not saving at all. He's pushing that number 99 machine further out in front. I don't know if that's going to work out, though. It looks like time being it will. Might be a short-term gain, but a long-term loss as Matthew Weeks coming down a pit road this time by with 23 laps into his stint, 24 laps to go. Will make it half-time. Look at that. Number 11's in, and he will go down a pit road and end the gamble. Now, number 99 finds himself up in front and does save it. Would come through all the way. He'll just have to keep on going slowly but surely. Would happen. It's going to be a gamble. Maybe the gamble will not. If it's going to happen, the number 99 machine out in front to get that win. Second spot holds on William Schmidt, but he's 1 lap down. Your leader is the only man on the lead lap at the moment. That's a big advantage, a big gap. Don't waste it if you're 99. I'm sure now he's thinking of whether or not a strategic hold off could be the best way to win this race. It could all come down to one last dash with 23 laps to go. We'll say hello to 22 and crank it up with the best cameras on iRacing, uninterrupted on FDN. Track cams, Gormans, they are the best place to go for all your iRacing camera needs. And you know what that means? Provided by the best cameras on iRacing. Let's crank it up with 22 laps to go, courtesy of TrackCams22.com. And with 18 laps to go, Vinny Tigner finds himself out in front as our Crank It Up concludes courtesy of TrackCams22.com. Track Cams for Gormans have brought us a beautiful race out in front, and the number 99 machine of Vinny Tigner is in the place to be, one lap ahead of the entirety of the field. Got his second place driver right behind him. The 99, the 79 have held on out in front. Very little competition out here. Remain out of the way. Number 99 wants to keep it that way. Vinny Tigner now looking good to go to perhaps become the first winner in the playoffs to be a playoff driver. Dylan Basin, the spoiler, won last week, and now he finds himself in a different spot. 99 of Vinny Tigner keeps the field at bay. William Schmidt stays in the draft right now, and that might be the best call for him. It would be best right now. Lay back and let the other drivers do what they have to do. That's the best place to go for the number 99 machine. Holding on out in front. He's got himself in first, one lap ahead of the entirety of this field. Nobody in the sight of the number 79 though, as he finds himself almost an entire second ahead of Jordan Kuntz. Kuntz has made his way back up to third besides a very early blunder in his strategy. Made the blemish seem nearly invisible. The rest of the field chases down your leader, but it's been the longest we've seen only one driver on the lead lap all night long. Tell you what, with 15 laps to go, it is still a lottery. The Kansas lottery sign shines in the background here as we go down the American Ethanol backstretch. And I tell you what, this race is not over, not in the slightest. This man, Vinny Tigner, he could win this on a fuel gamble. It's going to be risky. Nonetheless, he might just choose to pit and be safe, and that might be the best chase for victory. Best case scenario for it. The reason being, when you fuel up, you'll have less fuel in the tank, quicker pit stop, and you can just get back on your way without anything else stopping you from getting back in the lead. That could be safe, but it also is going to be a bit risky to come down pit road regardless. Now Jordan Kuntz goes down low. He dives deep. He goes from second. He'll get on William Schmidt. Now Schmidt goes up high. Nothing more he can do, and Jordan Kuntz is going to be on the lead lap. The way this is going, he'll have a good run at it this time by Schmidt. Going to get to the back bumper of Vinny Tigner. Keep him out in front. What does Vinny Tigner do? He'll stay there, and Jordan Kuntz will go down low to try to get back on the lead lap with a baker's dozen left to do it. Now the battle for the lead is shifting. Now, it isn't necessarily the battle for the top spot just yet, but every driver besides the number 99 being one lap down. Backwards. Look at it a bit differently. In this situation, you got to calculate what is best. Laps get the lead. In case the number 99 does come down to pit. So he might just have to. He does have to be in the best position to capitalize off it. Jordan Kuntz plays a bit more risky. Tries to get up into second. Does not work. Back time by. How about that? It's going to be the number 00 holding on tight in the third spot. William Schmidt there in second. And Vinny Tigner is in first. Alec Daffin position number 4. Aaron Brown in fifth. Matthew Weeks in sixth. And Vinny Tigner, who leads the way, has him now with 11 laps to go. The battle for this win means an awful lot. Jordan Kuntz has been the best driver all season long. Now is a chance to be knocked out of the final four. It would be slim, but it could be on a whim that he loses this one. He's going to want to fight back. With 11 to go, only one driver on the lead lap. It's more exciting than most races with domination like this. He still has to come down to pit road. He's off his own cycle. And with 11 laps to go, the average pit stop length from stint to stint is about 35 laps. Would have to go 40 laps to make it all the way. It might not work out. It might not cut the way he wants it to. But the 99 will have to keep on driving no matter what. Double digits one last time. 10 laps to go here in Kansas. And the number 99 has himself out in front. Alec Daffin for Fisher Studios now finds himself in the equation as well. It is a Chevy and a Ford, and then a Toyota chasing down your leading driver. Daffin goes down low. He'll take it down to fourth, and he'll try to make it happen, swiftly making it back up. Trying to recoup his losses, but nothing more than he can say or do. He's got his teammate of Aaron Brown right behind him. They'll be able to come back together. 00 Jordan Kuntz self in tow. Vinny Tigner 9 laps to go to make this one happen. It's a fuel gamble. It could be a fuel miracle the way things have gone. The number 99 doing things different. 9 laps to get this one done. He goes down low once again. He'll keep it intact. The stadium lights are shining here in Kansas, and he'll come down to pit road, this time through. Vinny Tigner's in. This is the money stop. He's in on his own. This is it. It's Tigner against the world. The battle for the lead is on. William Schmidt leads it, and with 8 laps to go, next time around, it's 9 here. The single digits are in full effect, and the 79 has himself a night. He's leading this battle. He'll try to lead it as Vinny Tigner comes down to pit road for the biggest pit stop of his season. The number 99 makes it through, rolls down to pit road. The iRacing official pace car greets him. It's the only time they'll meet each other for the rest of this race. Bar a shock. Yellow William Schmidt comes around this time by. He might be good to go. Tigner's back in the way though. It's going to be close. Will it happen? It looks like it's going to be very, very close indeed. Matthew Weeks gets by, and that he does. Now, Vinny Tigner fades. 8 laps to go. It's an all-new ball game. 11 machine leads. Matthew Weeks takes it to the point, and just when we thought he was done, he is all back in action. Matthew Weeks leads. Vinny Tigner now fades back. It's William Schmidt in second. Every driver is now back in contention. The final drive is as intense as it gets, and now your new race leader occupies the top spot unlike anything we've ever seen before. A final strategic call gets the 11 back in front, and we thought it was a risk. It looks like it was worth taking. Every other driver besides the number 99 is on an older set of tire. Now Vinny Tigner has to make his way back. He's way too far behind. That is what we call a race-making move. It could be a race breaker for the number 1 machine or the number 99. They both had those rules before. Now Aaron Brown battles for third. He gets it right by. Jordan Kuntz gets wiggled up top. And now Kuntz goes down low once again. My oh my, 6 laps to go. They're all slugging it out for the top spot. Matthew Weeks begins to run away. Looks like he got that lead and went just like that. And my oh my, the number 99 machine of Vinny Tigner. He got a great shot to get this one done. Now finds himself out in front. It was a phenomenal run all night long for Vinny Tigner, but once again, it's not meant to be. 5 laps remain. It's William Schmidt who holds on to second. Aaron Brown who keeps intact in third as they keep on fighting each other, running side by side, now running in a train. They're simply losing more time. Matthew Weeks on the youngest pit strategy compared to from the top 5. Tigner falls back into 6th, but this number 11 played his cards perfectly, and he'll come down in a field of aces as a race winner. It all goes to plan. It has been a phenomenal 130 laps so far, only 5 laps to go. It's going to be now 4 laps to go as the number 11 takes it down in for another lap of racing. Look at this man go. Matthew Weeks finds himself in a real good spot to make it happen. 4 laps remaining. The number 11 machine of Weeks apes himself intact. Now William Schmidt's in second. It's Aaron Brown in third, and Brown tries to make himself put on the crown. He'll have to put on a phenomenal run to get the lead. The 1 second deficit, it is slim, but he'll have to be a third of a second faster each and every lap to gain that time back. Very slim shot. That is possible. The way things have gone, it just looks like it won't be meant to be. Make it 3 laps to go for Matthew Weeks out in front, holding up the light to the end of the tunnel, and he's got himself a good shot to take it home without much hesitation. Make it happen once again. Matthew Weeks leads this way. Now William Schmidt here to stay, fighting hard and fighting with all he's got. The 7-9 holds on there in second, and Brown's in third. Brown goes down low. He's got a bit of a run. Can he charge it back this time by? He might, but it's all no use. 2 laps to go this time by. 3 miles to get this one done, and it's all Matthew Weeks from here on out. He just has to make it home in one piece to that checkered flag. The number 11 of Matthew Weeks, in a phenomenal course of events, finds himself in the lead. It would be the biggest win of his career. The rookie entering this season was not expected to make it happen for a championship run, but as he comes in tonight, the first man outside the playoff bubble, he could enter the first man in automatically to the final 4. Matthew Weeks with 1 lap to go tries to make it happen as Aaron Brown goes down low for second. Now it's going to be Brown letting Schmidt fade back. William Schmidt tried oh so hard to make it happen, and he is running out of fuel. He is done. There's nothing more. The 7-9 is fading, and he is fading fast. He might not finish this race at this rate. But as it all comes down to this final segment, the number 11, the rookie, locks himself in first, and he locks it in a phenomenal pit strategy that nobody's ever going to forget. Coming out of corner number 4, it is Matthew Weeks who wins the Fisher Studios 200 and locks himself in to the Season 4 finale. It's all coming down to this, and it is all on Homestead. Matthew Weeks takes the pressure off his shoulders and wins to put himself in the Final 4, and he's locked in just like that. The number 11 wins from Kansas, and it is all his night. How about Matthew Weeks? Let's get the results on your screen as he works his way down and in. The number 11 had it all working just perfect all night long. Made a phenomenal final pass on strategy, and just like that, number 11 comes home in first. Matthew Weeks wins over Aaron Brown in second, and Jordan Kuntz 2 seconds off finishes in third. Alec Daffin right behind comes home in fourth. Your poster, Vinny Tigner, makes it there in fifth, and Carter Casey makes it through in position number 6. It was seventh for William Schmidt, the final man of lead lap. Barely makes it home on that lead lap, limping to the checkered. Kyle Jackson 2 laps down there, as well as the final man racing is Jordan Parker, 9th, and your retirees go as follows. Kenny Rio, position 10. Then going to be 11th to Max Wiesner, and 12th in Michael Rosero. And we'll get your interview systems up right now. What a way to do it here in a big race. The Fisher Studios 200 comes down to a phenomenal battle as we get your interview systems up once again. The burnout and the celebration will begin. Go once more. Great racing all around for all these drivers as the number 11 begins to burn it down for the biggest race of his career. And Matthew Weeks parts this one on the front stretch, and victory suits him well once again. Matthew Weeks comes out on top. What a finish for him. Let's get him in right now. I'll communicate to the drivers to get a podium interview. Looks like right now they are not quite ready. I'll get him in though. Let's get an interview from your winning driver. And Aaron Brown comes home in second. I'll get Aaron Brown in after that. And finally, Jordan Kuntz in third. I'm telling them all to go down to that waiting room, and let's get some words from your drivers currently right now. All are not yet there. However, your winner has just come in, and this is the biggest win of his career in this league. The rookie locks himself in to the Final 4 in style. Matthew Weeks gets it done on the Fisher Studios 200 and wins to lock himself in to the championship race in Homestead. How do you feel after this one?
Feel good, man. The truck was hooked up tonight, dude.
And it seemed like that number 11 machine was second to none all night long. Went better than anyone else could. Coming home in the first spot is indicative of just that. Strategy worked out. The speed was there. What was the big thing to keep you up front all night long?
I really don't know, man. I know that first run we fell off because I was trying to figure out the fuel strat because the tires were like off. We needed probably one more set here, maybe. I think, but I was just trying to play fuel strat, and then I'm like, well, that's not gonna work. So it was just full steam ahead, and then I know one of them runs, I think lap 9 or 85, I pitted and just put fuel in it because I was like, I want tires on the last stint so I can go as hard as possible, and it just worked out.
And how about that? Everyone plays out the plan for you. Everything plays out the plan. I gotta tell you what, that final pit stop, it was something else. I was not sure how that strategy would work out. What really led you to that decision? It seemed to be absolutely perfect.
I seen Jordan pit, and I'm like, I wonder if he's taking fuel or tires, because I know that second stop, they were really, really slow, and I thought they were saving fuel or didn't take tires. So I was confused. So I was like, I had to throw something different in there, and it just worked out, dude. And the last 24 laps, it was just foot to the floor, pedal to the metal. Let's get these boys.
And a big win for the number 11. Matthew Weeks gets it done here in Kansas now. The rest of the season It's going to happen, of course, with a race that's actually in a bit of question. Okayama going to be replaced, I believe, by Texas, but nonetheless, how does it look going into next week?
I'm glad we're getting off a road course because I suck at on road courses with stock cars or these trucks. So I'm glad we're going to an oval, but we're just going to try and go out and win more races to keep the momentum going, man.
And all about momentum, the number 11 Matthew Weeks knows the name of the game and becomes the first playoff winner to win during the playoffs, getting it done. The Fisher Studios 200. Any final thoughts? Anyone else you'd like to thank?
Shout out to you, man, for showing up. I was reading chat and you had a party, man. Shout out for doing this tonight. I know you had more stuff going, and everyone else, man. It was a good race. I know we didn't have a lot of guys. Shout out to everyone, man. That was a fun race. And JD Designs on this beautiful purple scheme, man. I love this truck, and everyone that watches, man. It was a good race.
And a great race here. The party's honestly right behind me. I still hear it just past my headphones, but nonetheless, the party's on for Matthew Weeks as a number 11 comes home in victory lane here in Kansas Speedway. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, man, you have a good night.
And there we have it. Matthew Weeks on his way. Aaron Brown comes home in second. And for the Fisher Studios Force, the number 8 finally gets something going right. I'm sure this is a big one for you, Aaron. Back in the podium. And it's a second place to boot. How do you feel after this one?
A lot better compared to the other season. Entire rest of the season. But yeah, I was really happy to pull off that second place. So I will take that. It was definitely a fuel strategy race. I thought it wasn't gonna work. I was talking to Jordan and he was trying to play mind games with me on his strategy. He was saying like, "Oh, do I?" Like he told me he took 2, but then he said, and then he ended up. I think he ended up taking 4. He said he had 2 left side tires, but he wasn't telling me if he had 2 right side tires either. So it was some funny mind games, but glad it worked out for me. I'll take the second place. I saved my tires just better, and I ran out literally right after the line, so I barely had enough. So I probably should have stretched it one more lap if I could, but it definitely would have lost me a lot more time there.
And a very slim margin between every driver there at the end. It would have barely eked that one out as soon as Vinny Tigner came down to pit road. Everyone went running. Was that how it felt for you? Because certainly watching it, it seemed like everyone turned on the Jets as soon as they knew there was a shot to win.
Yeah, I was trying to save at the first half of that last run because I knew the top was a lot faster, but if I ran the top the whole run, I was going to be short of, no doubt. I was going to be really short. So I had to like try to run the bottom and just try to save the fuel, since you slow down a lot more down there. It just saves more fuel, and I perfectly timed it. I started running the top like the last 5 to 7 laps, and it worked out. It was perfect time to do it, and I just eked it out second, but yeah, that was a perfect timing, and I'm surprised I held on to second.
And it seems like some picture-perfect timing for the number 8 machine, and the picture gonna shake up big in the championship standings. Now, I don't believe Okayama's up next anymore. Texas is all but confirmed to go up next on the order. How's it gonna be heading to down south for another race in a 1.5-mile condition?
I figure it's gonna be around the same way, but also it's going to be a little different because you gotta turn 1 and 2. You gotta lift. I don't know if we're doing Legacy Texas. I think we're doing normal Texas. So turn 1 and 2, it's gonna have to lift a lot. Gonna have to try and get the right line. Try to save the tires better so you can make yourself better through turn 1 and 2 there. So. But 3 and 4 is going to be like a Kansas, like a Vegas, like anywhere else. It's going to be mostly full throttle. Probably you're going to have to lift off a little bit towards the end of the run. But turn 1 and 2 is going to be the decider. So whoever's better really in turn 1 and 2, I think is going to win that race. And who can save their tires through 1 and 2 better.
Might be all about the first 2 turns in Texas, but every turn and every lap, Aaron Brown put the pedal to the metal and finds himself back on the podium. Great to see it all works out to come to the checkered flag in one piece. Aaron Brown, any final thoughts? Anyone else you'd like to thank?
Gotta thank you guys for the broadcast. I gotta thank viewers for turning out. I gotta thank Fisher Studios. It was a funny little joke we had half the field of Fisher Studios trucks. So that was good. I hopped on the show with that. But But yeah, gotta thank everyone for showing up and racing tonight. I think Cameron starting the league, and unfortunately, I mean some things did not go his way as his computer died. So a few months ago, so he really hasn't been able to get a new one. So me and Alec had to take the reins here recently, and now Jordan. So yeah, so gotta thank everyone basically, but
And a great all-around night for Aaron Brown coming home here in second. The Fisher Studios 200. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Having Aaron Brown on his way in the final man on your podium, Jordan Kuntz. Yet another solid run. And in all honesty, that's all it's been for the number 00. Solid, consistent, and always up in front. Another podium here in Kansas. How do you feel after this one?
Definitely felt like there was more on offer there. Definitely could have gotten the win, but overall, third place. I don't really need much to get into the championship for, but want to just start building the momentum for the race in Homestead, and this is a good base to work off of.
And always good to get some momentum going. Yet another strong run was up there in contention for the win. And it all came down to a lot of fuel strategy. You ran that stint pretty long, 30 laps at the end of this race. Was there any risk in going there? Do you think you'd run out of fuel?
I was for sure safe in the last stint. I would not risking running out of fuel at all. I know I did a lot different strategy than everybody out there today, and it was a really risky one, doing a short stint of I think it was less than 10 laps in the middle of the race. So I think overall, if I executed it a bit better, I could have won it, but in the end, new tires won out, and old tires were not the way to go.
And the tire race was a big one all night long. Now, multiple stops for every driver. What was the most important stop for you? And everyone seemed to go up and down throughout the entirety of the night.
I don't think it was one single stop that really changed the outcome of the race, and it was just the whole race in general and how you ran each stint, how long you ran in all the stints. I know, like me and Matthew, we short pitted. William tried to stay out long, hoping for a caution and make it to the end. So did Benny, but in the end, Matthew played the strategy game perfect tonight and ended up getting the rewards.
And a big-time strategy night here in Kansas leads us, I believe, now to Texas. A shocking schedule change brings us back to the ovals yet again. So what's it going to perhaps take the victory, head there for a race in a Lone Star State?
Yeah, Texas, I think I've always done good there, always fast, and definitely win is on the cards.
Looking for a victory once again, the number 00 of Jordan Kuntz comes home third here in the Fisher Studios 200. Any final thoughts? Anyone else you'd like to thank?
I'd like to thank everyone who puts on this league. Jordan Parker for all he does with sponsorship and everything. And the race could have been better, especially with the incident, but overall, a really well put together race. It was really fun with the strategy, and in the end, I'm really happy with everything.
And there we have it, the number 00, Jordan Kuntz brings home yet another solid finish, makes it home third here in the Fisher Studios 200. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
We have it, Jordan Kuntz going to be back on his way, and Kuntz gets it on the roll. It's Jordan who finishes there in third, and at the end of the night, Matthew Weeks makes it through for yet another win. He'll be advancing into the Final Four. How about that? Victory is, and the number 11 makes it happen once again. Gotta thank y'all for watching live on FTN. It is another big time win, and it's going to be a playoff run for the number 11 indeed, getting it done here in Kansas. Got to thank y'all for your time here tonight. We'll be back, I believe, next on Wednesday for the 4-Row Cup Series B-Man Designs Duels. And from there on out, it's going to be a Saturday night spectacle once again when we have a doubleheader in the Full Send Super Speedway Series and the Stock Car Racing League Fisher Studios Truck Series once more. Gonna thank y'all for your time. Once again, I've been your host, David Croyd. Great to have you aboard, and we hope to see you whenever we're live on FTN. Once again, from our studio to your homes, we thank you greatly. Hope to see you once more where we're live on FTN indeed.